Hello and welcome to the 4th of July Server Cast. I'm your host Swkoll, and today we're looking at a game sent to me by Alex. Alex. It's a Setons match with average Joe's players. We got some very new players in this match, but we also have some decent ones. The air players, both decently rated. We should have an interesting battle over on the top ocean. That's fairly evenly matched. Bottom ocean, lower ranking, but fairly even as well. Although the middle is where both noobs have been shoved, and I have been told by Alex that this mid player does not actually go to the middle, but apparently it does not mess up everything. So we got Pawn moving his ACU to the middle. He knows what he's doing at least. He's planning to get to the stars. He'll be bringing a single NG with him. And let's go through the players again. Sleven going Cybern against Numbringer, who will also be taking Cybern. We got two back Aeon players. We got Furball, Alex. North Ocean, we've got Aldenine taking up Aeon versus UEF. Gumrad. Wait. Actually, this is a fairly imbalanced match. I thought you were someone else. But you were him. I don't know, this is actually fairly imbalanced. But see how it goes. We're bringing 3 Selines to the mid. Looks like Tech 1 point defenses. That wall should be cleaned up by the Selines. It looks like Pawn will grab all the mass for the bottom side team. So overall, in terms of the distribution of the noob players, it kind of works. You got this noob on opposite sides, so that should balance it out. Pawn just going ahead, grabbing his mass, getting all the reclaim. Looks like some point defenses will be successfully brought or constructed. Looks like a fairly standard build order, getting some air at decent time. BPB will be coming down with his ACU a lot later. And actually, Pawn using his NG to construct a point defense to retreat to. Interesting move. Maybe he's worried about getting overrun by Lobos. By tanks and stuff. Not by Lobos. And looks like Furball successfully drops to the island. Bomber fails to pick it up. NGs have been spread, and they will be constructing the point defense. Or the anti-air turret. Anti-air turret goes up. Bomber gets taken out. And air control has been secured by... wait, what? This is interesting. Furball taking the island. I didn't realize he was the back flare. Perhaps he could not count on Comrade to take the island and might as well take the mass himself. Sleven going for some early Tech 1 Navy. And a drop from Nombringer. He's dropped his island. And now it looks like he'll be dropping this expansion. I'm sorry. The Pawn just retreating casually. He's got radar, he's got a massive spam and tech to land from Pawn. This should push him back quite significantly. Has he built an energy storage? He has not built an energy storage. He's actually gone tech 2 with his starting land factory, almost no build capacity. And actually, number here going ahead with the air control. Successful energy drop will get cleaned up. My NG's in our Tech 2 Naval Rush from Sleven. Minute 8. This is always pretty effective if you only partially know what you're doing. More drops coming into the top island. We've got Furball and Aiden dropping each other. Point defense goes up very quickly. versus a factory and radar. That should secure the island. Now the factory will go up. Looks like Furball will secure this mass, giving him an advantage in the backfight. He should be able to win air, especially considering he's got the mexes. He got the middle mass, and now BB trying to retreat to his point defense. And it looks like he will get run over in the middle. He's trying to get some mongoose. He's teched a second factory for no good apparent reason. So he's done a bit of teching. And he fails to micro the mongoose and dies. Although he will survive in the water, at least temporarily, until this navy decides to make its presence known. Let's see how the topside deals with overrun by Tech 1 land through the middle. Alux getting Raz after his 4 Tech 2 pigeons. Furball doesn't look like he'll be getting... Actually, Furball behind. This is interesting. He's only getting his second pigeon, despite all the mass that he was given, plus he has the island. Now it looks like he decided to walk onto land and died. Or, alternatively, the Navy forced him out. Don't even talk! I'm sorry. Don't... Sorry. You just, for the record, you have no right to complain if you're the worst one on your team. And an interesting move for Furball will be doing some Navy. I don't know what the naval mixing rules were decided upon. But, Comrade going ahead and teching all his factories to Tech 2. Except this one. So just a wasting mass. Furball doesn't actually trust him to protect himself from Tech 1 bombers, moving anti-airs nearby. Although it's been interesting, Furball will have to play 4-2 players, considering Comrade will not probably do too much. Tech 2 point defenses have been spammed up by quite a few Tech 2 NGs. This would be a very nice target. Just drop 2 Tech 1 bombs, and Tech 3 power goes down, and this all explodes. For some reason, Nombringer has given over Tech 1 power to Alux. And that goes down. Tech 2 point defense. Tech 1 spamming up, might be able to hold it. You cannot count on Tech 2 bombers minute 6. But Tech 2 Navy from Aiden should be able to hold off this Tech 1 and Tech 2. Just keeping the destroyer back and forcing this Navy from making any radical moves. Tech 2 Engineer will be going forward to grab mass ejectors. I'd like to see it get some point defense. Looks like Comrade's managing to build some cruisers. Meanwhile, big naval skirmish, Tech 1 Navy all around. Though there are some destroyers and a cruiser. Looks like Sleven trying to drive Numbringer off his island. But it looks like he'll get overrun by the sheer number of destroyers. There are some Tech 2 subs, but just numbers for Nombringer. He should be able to win his navy. A small portion of it survived. Furball dropping to get some of this mass in the middle. All this reclaim fighting. And now Tech 3 Navy from Tech 3 Air from Alux. Furball sporting the double Raz. And looks like he'll be getting some Tech 3 power. Meanwhile, let's look at up top. Already has the Tech 3 power and is building restorers. Looking to take an advantage back in the middle. He's got 2 restorers already built. A few Tech 2 flax. Still getting hit by destroyer fire from beacons. Pond will either have to rush forward sometime soon or stop this production of land units, because he will not be able to push forward anymore. They look coming out with scouts. He's actually got a transport dropped in the water. At least it managed to confuse the topside team. It's good enough. The Tech 1 Navy will continue. Topside is definitely in a position to win Navy easily. And Pawn is certainly being punished because of it. He looks like he'll be getting Tech 2 artillery. Let's look at the range on that thing. It should be able to hit the Navy. Yeah, it's very well in range. To make sure it doesn't hit the defenses, though. It looks like he'll be trying to rush the defenses. There's just multiple shields. Lots and lots of Tech 1 defenses. We'll need to run in here, try to do as much damage as possible. More Tech 2 defense being spammed up as quickly as possible. Wangers have been constructed. Let's see, can they get under the shields? Restorers have been brought in. The Tech 2 flax not in any numbers to hold it off. The second shield about to go down, but the numbers spinning out very rapidly. Almost no defenses have been killed. And now a huge mass field for non-bringer and restorers for him to deal with. Looks like he might be in a position to get sniped, getting a shield generator. Upon running for the water. ASFs from Furball hanging around. Looks like they'll be someone a bit late. Upon running into the water, he's got Tech 2. He's got a bit more health. And he looks like he actually has Nano that will save him, as early air fight will determine who wins air and if Pawn survives. Players continually trying to deal with this. Pawn successfully escapes into the water, but the air battle is still anyone's. Looks like Alux will win it, at least temporarily. So, and Numbringer bringing out loads of torpedo bombers, trying to snipe him. He's got 4 torpedo bombers. 5? 4. Those will be very difficult with the Nano. He's going to be getting back onto the land. He needs to get more Tech 2 flax and fall all the way back. Things are not looking good for the bottom side team. It looks like Comrade will try to push this Navy away, but it's superior numbers, tech, and mass. Actually, just a bunch of cruisers. There's no real anti-naval weapons here. Pawn tries to make it back onto the shore, will die to so many subs. It looks like torpedo bombers from Pawn were being massed right here to do some sniping. Now restorers will be brought in to try to turn this naval battle. Sleven has managed to hold them off at least for a while, but the cruisers have been killed. This will be defeated quite easily. Furball has not put much into his navy. He's just starting the build capacity now. And Comrade has wasted loads of mass on multiple Tech 2 factories just building cruisers. The UF cruiser is a nice weapon, but it doesn't do everything. Doesn't do most things. Restorers being brought in to harass yet again. They'll be getting some fine veterancy. Tech 2 flags trying to be brought in to drive them away. Looks like they will respond. This little base for Furball. Furball working on quite the ecos right now, and TAC missiles being launched. Somebody, you're launching TAC missiles? Doesn't appear to be. And Comrade desperately trying to hold on to this. It just takes a bit of micro from Aiden, and he will be able to kill all of these cruisers relatively easily with almost no losses. As you can see, pretty much no one is dying. And all this checking that Firbolg was doing will go to waste because Comrade did not build a navy in his upper beach. Firbolg calls it GG. Minute 21. He's been massing Tech 1 transports. Well, we all have to learn sometime. Torpedo bombers being brought in trying to kill Navy destroyers, but the floating flak won't allow any sort of nonsense like that. Sleven going down, losing his navy, losing his defenses, and restores ground firing him. Comrade disconnects. He's been building mass vats. And there's the desync. So I'm gonna call it a good game here. Actually, a pretty bad game. But I think I'm gonna upload it anyway because it was sent to me by Alex, and I guessed anything you sent to me. The desync wasn't bad. So good plays from Firbolg, trying to keep it together. New players screwing over the bottom team and the top team to a lesser extent. But it was nice to see the top team manage to take advantage of the bottom team's new player, while the bottom team couldn't really take advantage of the top team's new player. Great work from Nauberger managing to hold down the middle and winning his navy simultaneously. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this newbie Average Joe's game. Sorry if I come off as way too harsh on these guys, but how are they going to improve if people do not criticize their play? I hope you enjoyed this cast, and good night!